muted you, Destiny, just to avoid the echo. So.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. Somehow, I know that it has to.
Let me know if that works, my love.
I feel like if you left the watch together and came back, it might fix it. So.
Wait, do you want to leave it unmuted so it echoes again?
It does. It is
Oh,
actually.
it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey.
Usually, we're used to dealing with professionals here, Destiny.
have open
People
back,
who've streamed more than once. So.
Well, something is happening with the watch together window that I don't use this watch together thing, but like I can look on Zoom and I see that my thing's not lighting up, so I can't be leaking audio in there. But also, I don't have my microphone approved for.
But Zoom, if you enter the watch together room incorrectly, somehow you can talk through the watch together room.
Okay, I'll refresh
So-
it. We'll see if that does anything.
Yeah.
What's happened?
I'll refresh it. You can tell me if it does anything.
See, I heard it. I heard my voice come through the watch together room.
Oh yeah, you could toggle your microphone on the watch together. Yeah.
Yeah, mute yourself in the watch together room. Activate your microphone, click on that button, and go block.
Mash that mic button.
Oh, okay. It shows a symbol when you're activated, so he was not.
So that one's working.
That wasn't
Yeah,
the issue.
so I've
'Cause
got.
he didn't have
Is
I
Twitch
turned it on and
Oh,
off
it
together,
isn't?
but-
Oh, okay. Maybe it's going through. Maybe the watch together's going through your speakers into your room or something, and you're hearing it in your headphones and in your room. I don't know.
Who knows? Okay, try one more time. If it echoes, I'll just keep muting myself in
I
here.
want it to be known, and I talked about this a little bit on Twitter, but I think it's very important to insist on this. Anti-abortion,
echoing now?
pro-forced birth.
Yeah, I can hear it
Yeah, okay, I
bouncing
see.
right off that wall in back of you.
Well, I see it echoing now. I don't know. Okay, I'll just mute myself. Go for it.
There's a little tinny sound coming off the saxophone.
Tinny, don't say that word.
Birth advocates do not give a single shit about the unborn. This can be evidenced in a variety of ways. First of all,
I will say, as
It
someone
says
who
I'm live.
grew up Catholic and was surrounded by them for much of my life, they absolutely do care, whether
Yeah.
you agree with it or not. They
Of course they
really
do.
care. They
Of
care a
course they
lot.
do. Yeah.
My
do.
YouTube is.
what are two very basic, common sense policies that everyone who sincerely cares about fetuses would support? Anyone who doesn't want abortions, right?
We need to guess and then see how our guesses compare with.
Sure,
him.
Rags. You got a guess?
I'll have to put myself in the Vaush mindset. It already tastes terrible.
My condolences.
Oh yeah. With him, I actually don't know. I was thinking that maybe we could pull some together, make a game of it, but I legit
It's got to
don't know.
be. It's
When
got to
he-
be like child care,
It's like if you
welfare, something like that.
Yeah,
Free baby
something about-
formula.
something that he would think everybody would agree
Yeah,
on,
Twitch is being weird.
which is tough because you want to think that it's crazy, but he also thinks Republicans are Satan. So, I'm gonna go with abortions allowed after second trimester and mandatory or
How
like
is-
big what?
How is that?
It's a
I
bad
don't
guess.
sensible
know.
policy?
I don't know
It's a
how
bad
why
guess.
he thinks.
But-
I don't know how this person formed. I don't know.
Rags, we're using our brains today, okay?
No,
Please.
if we have to role play not doing that.
Hmm.
Oh,
Okay.
that's
I
true.
got
That's
you.
true.
Then he thinks.
Oh, I
would
got
say that,
you. You're right. No, obviously, it's going to be some sort of child care.
I think so.
Or
Yeah.
free college, or who knows what he's going to
Yeah,
say.
free child. Ooh, he might go into free college too. Yeah.
Sure.
Wait, are we talking
yeah.
about why he's gonna say they're anti-child or?
What?
No,
Why they don't
policies
really
he's going to say
care.
Republicans would be in favor of if they actually cared about fetuses.
Oh, sure. I mean, like these are gonna be super standard like Democrat arguments, not even wild ones. Is that like Republicans care about a child until the moment it comes out of the womb, and then they're opposed to things like welfare or opposed to anything that would help like further along the life of a child after they've been born, of course, right?
Right. Free child care. Yeah.
You guys are missing the
Mhm.
obvious one.
So we'll say it. Tell us.
Well, you'll see. I've
Okay.
watched this video.
Okay.
before.
Things. You would
Said you
want
can't
access
cheat.
to free contraception
Free
because
contraception.
you want every birth to be deliberate, because if it's not deliberate, that increases the likelihood of abortion.
Of course, that completely goes against Catholicism, but who cares about their religion, right? They
Contraception.
probably don't care about their religion at all. What a dumbass.
Well, it's more just. I mean, the right's just against, public funding as much as possible anyway, generally.
Yeah, but they're not going to give up their principles. What kind of person says, "Oh, here, let me give up my
I mean,
principles"?
I will say that like the majority of religious people are having premarital sex and stuff. I do think it's a little bit strange. If you're so opposed to abortions, why wouldn't you be pushing like contraception is bad and it's a sin, but it's probably better than murdering a baby in the womb, right?
Because they can't do it because of their principles. They would look like hypocrites, and they know that. So on the down low, they'll promote it, but they're not going to come out and support a bill in Congress.
Well,
Sure, I guess, but then it makes it harder
no.
to feel like you have a principled stance towards protecting fetuses. Like now, your
They're-
principled stance is going to be more like aligned towards following whatever religious idea you have. More so.
No, they just circumvent it by saying abstinence only. That's why they
Abstinence
are in
only.
the abstinence only
Yeah,
position.
but it
Yeah,
clearly
I know it doesn't work.
right?
I know it doesn't work.
Oh.
It doesn't matter though that it doesn't work as long as they maintain their principles.
Well,
That's what they're
I don't think
worried
they need.
about.
I don't even think they need to push abstinence only. I mean, people can buy condoms.
Right.
People
That's
can
what-
get condoms, relatively easily.
That's
Most
Now
what
it's
I'm
working.
saying. Every Catholic
I think.
family in America is telling their kids secretly, use condoms.
Well, I think
But they're
a lot
not
of
going to
religious
support a
people-
bill.
A lot of religious people are. They do have that bit of a. If they want to do it, then that's their right to sin or something like that. There's probably enough of that as long as it doesn't cross particularly strong lines. Of course, I don't think contraception does for a lot of them. They would be all right with. It's fine if it's out there, but we don't like it. But it's
Well,
their right to do it.
There's a difference too between saying like if someone wants to use a condom.
Is it still not working? I updated it and I was able to view it on Twitch.
Yeah,
Paying
it's-
for this.
Yeah.
Nothing
Even though
Yeah,
it
but I mean
doesn't
that's
really
it's
make a
short-sighted
difference.
because at one
Oh, wait,
you're
not
paying
anymore.
one way or another. You're either gonna
No,
pay
yeah,
they are.
I understand like consequentially, but I'm saying
It was
like, the
just
way people
working.
Perceive it, the whole situation.
How
Yeah,
they
I know.
imagine it. Yeah.
Factually, nothing lifts people out of poverty like capitalism. Do you think
Hmm.
Raj
Say
is going to go?
condoms.
No, I was going to say capitalism. I think
No. It's not you, babe.
willing
Now
to
it's not working
abandon
on my
his
computer.
Principles just because that's a fact? Of course not.
Well, he's not
He
going to
doesn't
accept
care.
that as a fact in the first place.
Yeah, it just goes like
Right,
instantly
yeah.
offline.
Of course.
And you want prenatal care.
Hold up, I'm gonna restart my
That's the two
stream.
big ones. Sex ed as well. No, three big ones. Sex ed, prenatal care, subsidized by the government, free.
I got that one right, by the way.
The way civilized
Good job.
countries do. And access to contraception. Republicans support none of these. In fact, they're opposed to all
Got him. Proof. Proof.
Weird.
three. Republicans are against access to contraception. They are against sex
Against
education,
access
and they
to
are
it?
against.
I don't know about they're against access.
Yeah.
To it.
Don't you know that the Republican Party hates condoms?
Well, okay. To be fair, he did say provided free by the government. Okay, they are against
Now
that.
he's saying, yeah.
Also,
now
I
he's
think a
saying
lot of
access.
Republicans would actually say they don't want like teenagers have no business accessing contraception. Or at least I've heard my mom say this a ton. And I feel like I've heard other Republicans say that like like they shouldn't even be for teenagers. You're encouraging them to have sex and stuff. Maybe it depends on the flavor of Republican you're talking to.
Maybe.
Mm.
Yeah.
I think the
I mean,
Republican
this
Party
is
has
this is
come a
PolitiFact
long way.
mostly true.
Well, yeah, but do we focus on like what we think, like boomer parents are saying, or do we focus on what the party's actually pushing for?
I mean, the party's more productive. But
Yeah, totally. Party.
Against the any kind of
What happened to Vosh? What happened to Vosh here? Vosh used to be no verbal tics, none of this verbal garbage. What happened? I feel like the confidence level here has been eviscerated.
He needs to ameliorate his oratory.
As the
Yeah.
preeminent expert on Bosch videos, I disagree with that.
Vosh, do you realize that
don't
you're
think this is
speaking?
different.
Do you realize you're doing public speaking right here and all this?
You're being. Well, Doomer's saying that he was always like this.
He
You
did
just
it.
saw edited
Excuse
clips.
me?
He did
Plus,
it
it's fucking hard. It's
before.
not. If I go back and listen to myself talking, I sound like a fucking.
Oh, but
moron.
you just took a shower or a bath. I
Well,
can't let you on my
shit
bed.
out.
What do you mean go back?
positive.
I can't let you on my bed, Bubba. You're gonna get
They
it all
do not
wet.
care.
You're gonna get the
What is
cloud
it?
wet. I don't want
care
the
for
cloud
like a
wet.
pregnant, making sure the womb's healthy and everything.
You're
Making
actually
sure everything's
good.
going on.
I didn't
well.
know they didn't.
You're gonna make
They
my
do not care. Okay.
blanket smell,
The
Bubba.
reason they care is because they want to control women. That is it. That is, at the end of the day, that is it.
This is.
That's always. That's
Why is this so like?
You're gonna
this
make
is
my
so
you're gonna
dumb
make my
because
shit
there's
sound
so
like
many
a little
people.
puppy.
I'm pro-choice, but there's so many people that are pro-life, and they, for whatever reason, they really
are women.
have strong feelings about protecting the life of the child. I've never heard this mythical Republican be like, listen, I don't give a fuck about fetuses. I just want to make sure
Well,
the
that's
women
not. He's not making
have
the argument that they
lockdown.
don't like actually not care about fetus. He's making the argument that like consequentially through the policies that they
You just make my bed sound like a dog, like a
essentially,
wet
they're, like,
dog.
implicitly condoning more abortions happening rather than explicitly saying I don't care about the life.
No, I can't now. He's on it already.
He said
It's,
they just
I,
wanna
I
control
can't
the
put it
women.
out of
They don't care
motion.
about the fetus.
I know. I
That's what
hear
he
that
just
all
said.
the time about.
Yeah, he
like,
he
the
gets
right
into weird
Republicans.
territory there as well for sure. But I mean, I think that there are like it's always been like a classic question of conservatives. Although apparently we're not allowed to talk about all conservatives, but it's always been like a classic question of conservatives where it's like, okay, you guys want less abortions. We know how to do this. You do it through sex ed and you do it through contraception. And both of these things are things that historically, at least, conservatives have been dramatically opposed to. Like they'll die on the cross of like not having sex ed, like good sex ed for kids or contraceptives available to teenagers. So I mean, I think it's a fair thing to point out. But
Well,
yeah, he gets into some weird territory later where it's like,
Did-
oh well, it's just about controlling
does
women's
anyone-
bodies
well,
and stuff, right?
Does anyone really, like the average person, really look at politics in that like logical, consequentialist way? Because I don't think that. They usually just rely on their their moral feelings to guide them.
Well, that's the thing is
Yeah, of
like
course.
No,
I
but
mean,
that's what I
agree
mean.
completely.
Like, so it's not like Republicans are being hypocritical or in that they're not supporting sex ed because that would reduce teenage pregnancy. It's just they're not even thinking about that from that consequentialist lens. They're like, well, I'm against teenage pregnancies. I'm against sex ed for all these moral reasons.
Right.
I mean, I think it's fair to say that they have a position that's like pretty stupid considering what you would expect to happen, right? It's like your stated priorities do not line up with your policy objectives. What you're proposing
that's
is
like
not
everybody
going to
doing that.
accomplish. Okay,
Yeah, but I
that's
think
fair.
this is like
you can call them
people-
out for being dumb as
Yeah,
fuck.
it
and
is
they are.
dumb.
You can, sure.
People will criticize it, but it's like it's kind of like Democrats who say they want more affordable housing, or progressives who say they want more affordable housing, and then they dick ride the fuck out of rent control, which is like one of the dumbest policies of all time. Like,
Right.
so
True.
so people
Hey,
will argue.
just-
People can argue something like, oh, okay, well, like, do you really care about rent? Because it doesn't seem like it because you're pushing for policies that don't help. So I mean, like you could say, like, oh, are you saying they don't care about rent? Well, no, they do care about rent, but it's just like the policies that they're pushing aren't affecting the thing that they're trying to change. So it just seems kind of strange. And I think that's
Like
kind of the overall
they
point.
think it's
yeah.
working, or they feel they have to go a particular route. If you're a conservative and you have a lot of Christian influence and you're a strong Christian, right? You might want certain goals, but automatically, to you at least, it locks off certain opportunities that you can use to get to that goal because of a moral reason or a religious reason.
To the conservatives.
Okay, well, I'm
women
just gonna
having
turn off
sex
the
outside of the socially ordained,
Twitch one.
divinely ordained, controlled format of a monogamous marriage is sinful. It is degenerate. And the primary agent of this degeneracy is, of course, the woman. Now, Republicans don't care that much if guys sleep around. This
Yeah, I
is
just
very
turned off
basic
my
slut shaming
the
logic, right?
output.
You
So
know,
it should
you can
it
talk
should
about
only
monogamous
do
all
it
you
to
want,
my
but when
YouTube
guys
one
sleep
now.
around, it's like, hey, and if girls sleep around, they get shamed and like kicked out of their social circles in a lot of conservative places. In like the Bible Belt.
Destiny, is that the case? You went to Catholic school. Were all the
I mean,
guys?
they'll always tell you that like nobody should have premarital sex, but like socially speaking, it's always kind of like a wink, wink, nudge, nudge if you're a guy and you manage to do it. But I mean, like they'll always tell
Really?
you that,
Maybe among your friends,
He's
but not
tie-tie.
around. Like, try telling that to your Sunday school teacher. Oh, I'm gonna go
I
get
mean, to your
laid
Sunday
this
school teacher, but
weekend.
I'm thinking more in terms of like how fathers and mothers like relate to their children. I think even in early like sitcoms, you would see this kind of thing where like the daughters are super protected, and the sons are kind of like, you shouldn't do that, but like, oh, good job, son, you know. Not like explicitly, but I mean, like, there's also a difference in terms of like the consequence of both as well, right? Like your daughter sleeping around gets pregnant, and that's like a whole thing, versus your son is sleeping around and doesn't get pregnant.
Sure.
You know?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, and obviously there's different, reproductive strategies that are available to men and women, just because of how we evolved. But I don't think that there's some broad feeling. No, I didn't grow up in the Bible Belt, but I would assume there's not a broad feeling among the Bible Belt that's basically like telling guys to go fuck around and telling women that
It's
they have
not,
to
but you're
put a
never going
lock
to
on their
see the
pussy.
same type of charge against
Sure.
promiscuous men as you will against promiscuous women. Where promiscuous
Right.
women are like essentially devalued whores that have no value left to offer a man in a relationship. Whereas like promiscuous men are like, well, you shouldn't have done that.
Sure,
Is
that's
that
but
just
that's
an emergent sort of aspect of just a woman is pregnant and she has the baby?
It,
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of. I don't think it's just that, but I mean, there's a lot of potential things you could go into for why people treat that the way that they do. It just there's a lot there. Yeah.
Like men maybe are perceived more as you go get women and women are to be had in that.
Yeah, there's
weird
like the
kind of
chaser
sense.
chasey thing, right? It's like what's the old kind of like meme saying is that like a box that's unlocked by any key is a shitty lock. A key that unlocks any lock is a master key, right? Like
That's
it's like
just-
these types of sayings. Like there's a lot of reasons why people believe the things that they do. It's not just going to be religious or just cultural or just evolutionary. There's a whole bunch of different stuff that plays into it.
Oh, I think it is just evolutionary. I think the the analogy that you're using there is just to illustrate to basically articulate the intuitions around the evolutionary reasoning, because it's all goes back to paternity uncertainty. Like the man doesn't necessarily know if the child is his, and the woman always knows any child that comes out of her is hers.
Sure, it's not very interesting to say something like everything is evolutionary, because I mean, like technically that's true. It's like saying everything is biological, because without biology you wouldn't exist. I mean, that's kind of true. We're gonna have evolutionary tendencies, and then culturally we're gonna pick and choose which things we exaggerate past the normal
which
point
we
of
repress.
exaggeration.
Sure,
okay?
cultural evolution is a real thing.
Yeah.
I would argue that the reason I would argue that all of cultural evolution serves biological evolution. Otherwise, the culture would die out, because if the people perpetuating the culture don't continue themselves, then the culture dies just as a point of logic.
I mean,
Nobody's using that
It's
culture.
like a hedge that you can trim. in
You
a
have to be really
sense.
careful where you go with that, because like should type 1 diabetes be left right? Because these are people
No.
that have. Okay, you know what? You win that debate. Never
Well, no,
mind.
but I'm not.
Didn't
I'm not
expect you to bite
making
the
that.
bullet on that one, but all right. Yeah.
I'm not
Someone's
making
got
that
it.
argument, and
Wrong.
I would go further than that, Destiny, because if like our culture is one that we protect people like the type 1 diabetic, right? And I mean, you have a perfect example in someone like Stephen Hawking, which in 3,000 years ago, Attila the Hun would have just pushed him off the cliff, right? But since we've kept him, he's been a major contributor to our society.
Well, that's because has recognized that you can get a great deal of value physically.
Yes, yes. But that is part of our culture.
But in a way, but now you've transcended the biological into the cultural, right? Because now you're arguing that because theoretically, this is why society is so complicated. Theoretically, we can say the goal of any gene is to propagate itself, right? That's what genes are supposed to do. They copy and they
Sure,
copy themselves.
yes.
That's what they do, right?
Sustain.
Yeah.
Yes.
It might be the case that there are some.
No, this is the old. This is the Adam and Sitch. So pause. I actually really used to listen to Adam and Sitch's podcasts. Well, it wasn't a podcast. It was just like a show that they would critique debates, and they did All Relevant, Vosh, Destiny. I think they did a few others. Fuck, what's his name? Well, they did Lauren Southern. They did. What am I thinking is the guy who went from the right to the left. Oh, god damn it. I'm forgetting his name. I forgot. But basically, it would just they just review, and they do it literally line by point by point. So they'll pause on a point and just go on about whether it's a rant or whatnot, but they'll sometimes have differing opinions. And I think Sitch is pretty good at playing devil's advocate, knowing both sides fairly well, and at least representing the way that they want to be represented, even if he disagrees with them. And then Adam, I mean, they're both pretty comical and edgy, but yeah, I used to listen to them a lot, so I always loved when they included Destiny and shit.
But in a macro sense, we actually end up working well because of how we socialize with each other. So this is, I don't know where we're at on this. I don't know if we can ever know the thing about this, but I've heard it suggested that evolutionarily speaking, there might be an advantage to having gay people in groups of people. Even though gay people don't propagate their genes, having some number of gay people present in a society allows for more caretakers that you don't have to worry about competing with for reproduction purposes, right? So that's an example of like, it seems like a very negative reproduction for being gay. That society more advantage than another one where every single member is competing for reproductive purposes, right? That's just like an example of like where things can be starting to become socially exaggerated, or it's hard to say one to one, this is evolution and this is society or whatever, because all of these things are like interwoven with each other.
Well, that's a huge aspect of any evolutionary talk, whether it's cultural or particularly.
I think it's always like interesting because like it gives you so much more to think about. Oh, one thing.
And you're talking about multi-level selection.
Oh fuck.
You're talking about selection at the level of the individual and also selection at the level of the group.
I linked one of my philosophy friends.
Was it lineage selection?
Lineage
The
selection.
Vosh
versus
and
individual selection?
Dr. Vargas,
keeps talking about it, but not really- no
Barthagus,
one's
whatever his
digging
name
in.
is. The guy,
Right.
the
Well, no, I
trans
mean, I
women
think
are
the
women
reason
debate,
evolutionary stuff comes
and it
up
was
with,
funny
like,
because
lots
like
more
I was telling him
philosophy
like.
I guess leftists is that
I was
they
asking him
primarily
philosophically like certain
ignore
extensions of like
biological species that kind of view people as
if
blank slates
an
and
argument
all this
is
stuff is just culture kind of being
if like a
forced upon
premise
people,
to
forcing
something
them
is
down
like
pathways, which
all
I don't think
SRPs
you're gonna get
do
that from
outliers
have that
completely
view.
disprove
Really,
that
culture is kind of trying to
versus like
supplement or sublimate these
and then also
evolutionary
if he
techniques
says like
in
some
certain
S is
ways, and you
RP
have to kind of understand it
in
and
like
look at it in that way
a
in
variable
order to
sense like some
positive change in
SRP
society.
And if you
then
build better institutions-
does that like
Yeah,
make the
that's-
argument weaker in general? Because that seems like it's in itself it's kind of a like
If you do that,
Right.
you're gonna miss
True.
so much.
it's not like a definitive statement of something. It just says like, oh, like some women are masculine, some men are. Okay, I can agree with that. So it's not like a false premise in a logical way, but
should be able to identify as a woman and that woman the next day or something.
Sure.
You have to have some grounding in what is factual.
Right. Well, I mean, that's what Lysenkoism was, and why it's such a disaster.
or using like deductive logic and shit like that.
Believe in genes.
Girls will lose everything if they're accused of being a slut, and guys, by the same, I mean, we're talking about presenting social standards here, right? You'd think it'd go both ways, but of course it doesn't. It's about controlling women, and
I mean, men have an intuition that they don't like.
Yeah, me neither.
Well, no, let me rephrase it. Men do like slutty women a lot, but they don't think
Not to raise their
they're gonna-
child.
Yeah, they don't think I'm gonna make this woman my wife.
Yeah,
they
right.
think this is for tonight. Right.
Maybe, although I don't
Exactly,
even know
so-
if that's true, because it seems like if you gave a normal guy the opportunity to fuck like 10 different women, they would actually prefer that every single woman they fucked was a virgin. I think a lot of guys would opt for that. So even for quote unquote promiscuous women, they don't actually want promiscuous women. They just want a woman that will only be promiscuous with them. I think it's
Sure. But see, I think you're being too charitable to
men?
overall to Vosh's point here, because he said Republicans don't care about the fetus. All they care about is controlling women. So it sounds like he's very clearly saying that they literally do not care about the life
Well,
of the child.
that's because you guys are all very into Vox. I'm kind of stealing his argument as much as
I know,
possible. But I mean, like,
I
yeah,
I
obviously,
appreciate it.
I'm
I
critical
appreciate
as well, because if you go to my Twitter or whatever, I'll say shit like, you can't just say that Republicans don't care about women. You sound like a fucking moron, and nobody's going to listen to you, because obviously
Right.
conservatives care about women to some extent, or obviously, but like, I'm trying to give like the best version of what he's trying to say, but he's either too
especially
stupid
conservative.
or doesn't understand like how to phrase
Right.
it correctly, or he's actually radical and isn't. Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Do you think
When you-
Vosh turns his ship around, Destiny? I mean, I watch a lot of your content, especially on Vosh, because it's so fascinating to me. Vosh is just so in this weird bubble. I don't think he'll ever be able to.
22
Yeah,
minutes.
well,
audience is
he can't
probably-
appeal to the why would you watch like Vox, right? Or any
Yeah,
other like,
of
or even like David
course.
Pakman, right? So he can't appeal to moderates. So I think he's going back to trying to appeal to the very extreme left and the very extreme right. Like extremists are somebody that
He knows the group he can pull from.
But they are super finicky and they score very low on loyalty. And I feel like sooner or later they're just going to get tired of Vosh, and it's just going to be out the window with him. To
I
be
don't know.
honest with
There's,
you.
there's
I mean,
a lot
that's
of
how it
people who
works,
just
yeah.
want to hear what they think. They really want to get that, affirmation of, yeah, those conservatives, they are evil. Those are probably, yeah, fuck them, yeah.
I see Vosh
Very
like
cathartic for a lot of
like a
people.
cryptocurrency that's just on the verge of collapsing.
Bosch coin.
I think you're wrong. I think he's gonna do strong for a while.
I,
Until someone else comes
As
to
long as these
supplant
people
them.
exist and want to
disagree with
listen
that
to
pretty
them,
strongly.
I mean,
Is Vosh the Bitcoin of
Well, okay, wait. He got
cryptocurrencies?
he got so much flack for the J.K. Rowling stuff, but did he gain subs? Or
Lose
He's
subs.
gotten fucked in all of his big
Yes.
controversies,
Oh,
which is
really?
why I
Okay,
think
that's
he's trying to like appeal back to that crowd again.
Mhm.
For a while, he
That
was
would be
trying to
bad
suck up to
here for
Hassan,
me.
but he realized there was like no path forward there, and Hassan never gave him any play. There were some really sad clips. I'm sure Kimberly's probably seen about this somewhere. Where he was like, I remember there was one where Hassan was like, "Oh yeah, like I'm never gonna affiliate with somebody like Vosh because I hate the debate bro community," and Vosh was like, "This is actually Hassan giving us compliments, guys. You just don't understand." It was really, really, really sad to see that. But yeah, I think that he's kind of realized that he's kind of like lost that center moderate market, so he's just kind of like aiming towards extremists, and he's trying to like realign himself, especially after all the fighting with leftists, with Cat Black, and then with the whole like J.K. Rowling thing. He's trying to win favor back with that crowd again. That's why he's got people like Kath Wills and stuff. More extremist rhetoric that he did decently well.
These extremists want to see blood sports, though, and Vosh is basically in his fortress arc, where he's only going to debate yesterday. I just saw him. I didn't watch the debate, but I saw him have a second debate with another conservative. But this conservative is just so milk toast. Maybe it's a good thing.
Yeah.
Maybe it's actually a good thing.
I don't
that
really,
it's promoted
I don't like
but-
saying this publicly because I don't want to get into career advice or whatever. But honestly, Vosh, even though his fan base thinks he needs to do debate stuff, and I always say that because I want him to debate more because I like it when he looks stupid. He doesn't actually need to do debate stuff to succeed. What he really needs to do is just focus on these hot button cultural issues because he gets really big viewership doing that, live viewership, donations, and VOD viewership. So I don't know if he's realized that, and if he has, then good because I haven't given him free career advice. But if he hasn't, he doesn't actually have to do the debate stuff at all. He just focuses on culture war stuff. He gets paid. And he doesn't ever have to risk looking dumb.
He has to. Did you see the during the like cutting off Destiny arc? Did you see his response videos to you? Those were some of the most fucking dishonest. I could tell exactly what was going on there. He's like, oh shit, Destiny actually makes me look stupid. I can't talk to this fucking guy anymore. Okay, what's the cope? Destiny is a bad faith act. Yeah. Like, if you want to see the most dishonest Vosh videos, those are some of them. I didn't cover them because I just couldn't really work it in. But if you go back and like watch those debates and then watch fucking Vosh's coverage of it, it is so goddamn bad. And then immediately following that, the bridge burning Destiny arc, he basically stopped doing it.
Yeah.
Five,
like, if he
4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, exactly. And to be fair, that's smart.
It is. And it's
I
working
think-
for him. Like, a lot of his audience is literally like, oh, yeah, we don't want debates anymore. We like them. Like, my community might think, oh, that's a cope. But I don't think it is a cope. I think that a lot of his community, honestly, like, they don't even want to see him do debates anymore. They just want to see him do, like, culture war stuff. So, yeah.
do you think that
Jesus. Fuck, bro. Just wild and. Kind of rough. Rough start.
He's fully like
what is his
Most
position on
progressives
that?
will never,
he
ever
should be
admit
poly and that.
Like,
Yeah.
Vosh, oh, fuck, you guys
Destiny.
haven't seen it. It
he
would be a
thinks
really
that-
funny
he
video.
thinks
Destiny,
that-
you're muted.
That's
You're
the
muted.
thing. He thinks like if you're monogamous, manifesting jealousy. Or something.
Oh, you actually just fucking hardcore.
It seems to be pretty hard to find, like, if you're gonna, like,
Oh shit, 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 shit. There you go.
lifestyle.
Yeah, I was gonna say Doomer's seen the video. Yeah, there's one where he goes off. It's like a 20-minute video where he says that like every monogamous person is just like super jealous of their, you know.
I know about that one.
Yeah.
I know about that piece of art.
Yeah, we covered that. That's great.
Yeah, he said that there's no difference between your girlfriend or wife having a male friend and shaking hands versus having sex with them.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Every
Yeah,
actor.
he
Right.
falls on that.
So to answer your question, I don't think he prescribes any sort of tamping down of sexual urges or promiscuity or anything like that.
Yeah, I don't really know how to phrase it, like what name for it.
This 22 is actually gonna be kind of rough. They're just taking like so much free damage right now.
But I guess that's always the frustrating part.
Like not everyone's equipped, particularly.
5 seconds, 5 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second.
Yeah, or look at all the reasons.
That's so close. Wait, I didn't get a note for that?
Watch your feet.
There it is. That was weird.
Watch your feet. Watch your feet. Watch your feet. Watch your feet. Watch your feet.
Yeah, see, all three of your girlfriends are dead.
Watch your feet. Watch your feet.
Yeah, exactly. Especially like 2 years ago, like that's like we start fighting.
Watch your feet.
That's what I learned when I started cutting out soda. I get something.
Well, it's easier to focus on something that you can't change. Yeah, like you can change like some sort of like big wide thing, yeah, that you
This is honestly a
Fear incoming.
Oh shit, that's super dangerous.
AOE incoming.
Kinda nice.
well that came up with the most common fucking system. Came up with
Watch your feet. Watch your feet.
he doesn't have to act religious principles at an individual level as long as he's advocating.
That was the last thing instead of degradation.
Watch your feet.
Where I was asking, I think I asked him, so functionally.
AOE incoming.
You put it.
Fear incoming. Watch your feet.
I don't recall fighting.
Yes, we'd always fight, and it was eventually.
Okay, let's be frank. When I went to look up the live stream of this thing we're doing, I went to
That is my.
Aren't you supposed to be hanging with the family? Are you taking my advice? We do thank you for the super chat, obviously. Yes. J-Mac, executive producer of the show.
Of the Sitch and Adam show.
Yes. Of
That's
the
enough to carry weighty
Since you got the name.
consequences that they will have to deal with for basically the rest of their lives. You know? And don't get me wrong, by the way. Right now, they're going after abortion, but they will go after abortion. They already have. Republicans famously just going after
Dispel.
Bam!
So, right, it's actually.
Bam!
Like that is too close to the line to make kill.
I'm not particularly familiar with 100%. Is it expensive? Hard to get a hold of? Is it
A lot of the chat says birth control is cheap.
When it comes to women, like,
Going forward in the future, it seems very practical. For real.
They're gonna make it illegal to have premarital sex. Sid, you don't understand how this works. They have a zero tolerance sex policy. They want no sex to happen ever
no sex
outside of the bounds of marriage. That's the Republican Party from 50 years ago. Federally mandated. Yes, see that's what
They
And it's all, a lot of these are appeals to, I've noticed, and instead of like, this is what I want and here's why, it comes weighted with this fear of some horrific dystopia that's going to happen if you don't go with here's what I think it should be because I think that basically
one person that will say this.
Yeah, but they're doing it.
Watch your step.
No, Bernie wasn't voting.
You do it.
Yeah.
Watch your step. Watch your step.
But they could, the true things could be aligned. Like
Watch your step.
Mark is trying to get established by gaslighting his audience and being terrified of the
Watch your step. Watch your step. Watch your step.
This is why I feel like this is because it sounds like he knows that the Hobby Lobby thing wasn't about contraception. It was about and all that stuff. Damn.
He didn't know how the ballots were decided. He had no idea about it.
Dude, it was the funniest shit in the world. That's like just he goes, well, how can you do
Stay away from lines. Stay away from lines.
He's the real factor. He's funny as hell. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's weird.
Stay away from lines.
That is a little weird.
Stay away from lines.
You have to be
I don't think that's. I've never heard that argument.
Stay away from lines. Stay away from lines. Stay away from lines. Stay away from lines.
I'm waiting for this guessing game.
Run out.
Just contraception. I don't.
Stay away from lines. Stay away from lines.
Well, I mean, I don't think most pro-choice people don't think are the types of.
Stay away from lines. Stay away from lines. Stay away from lines.
I don't know that the whole Republican Party does. It's got to be a smaller percentage. You're characterizing the higher Republican Party.
Stay away from lines.
That's a large number. Certainly, it's not big.
Stay away from lines. Stay away from lines.
It seems to be. Yeah, what is it?
I would imagine from a Christian perspective, it's like, oh, if you're against contraception, God says you will multiply. So you're really only harming yourself on a spiritual level or not following Christian dogma level. Where with abortion, it's like you're basically literally killing a human being. So it's completely different. Like, very conceptual.
Yeah, it's this kind of
Run out. Run out.
People are being driven by their moral intuitions, not their logic.
At least we'll one key it.
Abortion. What is contraception if not a preemptive abortion? There has actually been an effort to legally cordon birth control in a way that fits it in a similar category. And this is
Run out. Run out.
I think one of the situations that divides left and right on this issue is that the right wants to intervene.
Run out.
The left is more willing to accept that's a bad way to put it, because whether or not it's true is
Run out.
products of their environment. They're less willing to make people responsible for their own their actions. And that's a huge split here.
Yeah, both sides sort of feed into each other. It's whether you say that the individual has the most responsibility or the culture.
Gross.
Oh, right. Here's why we
I've been a follower of the team for a while, and
It's like the minimum amount of decor you can have for your back.
Mister doesn't show up on camera.
Watch your step. Watch your line apart.
Who is this guy? Because, I mean, he does a real good job.
Watch your step.
He's really not easily. He's really not easily.
Line apart.
He's the guy that.
Then why?
Watch your step.
5 or 6 years younger than Boss. Why is he the one that's in circle? Know what's going on? And Boss is the one teetering on crazy town.
Watch your feet.
I guess so. Yeah,
Watch your step. Watch your feet.
heavily correlated. You disagree? How about the younger? How about we just limit
A lot
this?
of young kids.
Watch your step.
Limit it to male. The
Watch
younger
your feet.
the more full of shit he is. Is that? Will you at least sign on to that one? Young people are.
Watch your step.
the craziness that age question.
Watch your step. Watch your feet.
However, oh no.
Watch your step. Interrupt.
You could have people that are way in the average
We're witnessing it right here in this video.
Line apart.
Maybe like crazy because when
Target you. Watch your step. Line apart. Watch your feet.
Example, Vosh is here advocating for an audience to buy weapons. I don't know. I see the advocate
Watch your step.
that's mentally unstable.
Line apart.
Mentally unstable people.
Target you.
Doesn't seem to work.
we could say Republicans front line.
Interrupt. Watch your step.
I feel like at least they're pitching you gotta have a gun safety kit.
Watch your feet. Line apart.
You don't think so?
Isn't there some Supreme Court case right now they're trying to get like open?
Target you. Watch your step.
No way.
Interrupt.
When you say the words assault rifle, and you get like
And
a
every
million
person on the right
comments.
gets triggered. Yeah.
Well, that's what I was gonna ask. I'm like, are those lefties or righties who are responding?
Watch your step.
Oh my God! You said these unforbidden words. It's in this category. So it is people on the right way.
you know, say something just so absurd. Had to be done.
He gets on screen and he slaps him in the face like in 27 seconds. He's like, "Gosh, when you say something this retarded,
absurd.
this idiotic, this is so absurd."
Absurd.
He's going full Jordan Peterson on him. So
If someone-
absurd.
Absurd though is he's like he has a gun there.
Do I want to swap this?
Absurdity isn't It's not that bad in terms of internet speak, right? If someone says, yes, he said something so absurd, I'd be like, that seems low tier for me.
I don't think it's
agree with it, yeah.
insane that Vosh owns a gun. I don't think it's remotely insane that Vosh.
Oh,
owns
we're
a gun.
bouncing.
We're bouncing.
Oh yeah, he wants to. He probably. Let's hope he doesn't want to kill evil people with it, because that would be.
Well, Vosh
Oh,
Vosh
yeah.
is probably definitely a target. He's on the internet
Right.
saying absurd things.
Did I get rid of?
So yes, he should
PM?
probably have a gun. I
No,
don't
no,
know
I
that his audience needs to be packing firearms, but
Well, if he's telling them that they need to be thinking certain things about a lot of people, and I hope not. I don't want him to go. I don't want one of them to go too far.
Yeah, I don't think.
hold on.
I don't think. Wait, I don't think. Having people getting arms is a problem. I think
I
it's
don't
having
know.
arms and then hyping up the fear that you're on the verge
Yes.
of civil war, genocide is
Yes.
a real key factor.
he's listen.
Oh my
the
God,
reason
no
that
way,
should
bro!
pay attention
I had to get the
because
worst
Republicans are
one.
gonna
Fuck
round up
me.
genocides.
Right, right.
It's not for home protection.
That's gotta be the worst one.
I got my gun
Right.
next to me.
Remind me what it was that I said. So fill me in.
17.
Fuck.
Yeah. Okay, so obviously I get that the tension's running high with the Roe v. Wade news. I'm what the kids call a soft.
That's rude. That's rough.
Most issues, but obviously down the road we would maybe disagree. So actually on the policy prescriptions we would agree on the conversation around abortion, but the way in which you obviously responded to that news was calling Republicans, and then you went on to specify Republican politicians, maybe primarily, were demons and human flesh. And I saw that.
Which is medically true, by the way. Scientific study.
Right, I
can't
saw
tell
all
if
the
he's
studies
joking.
He's joking.
Fight you on that. And I saw that you talked to a conservative, and I saw the title, and got nervous that he was going to argue with you about this exact same thing. But then y'all's conversation went more into him saying, it's not that bad, all these different things. That's not where I want to go at all. I agree with you on how bad any of these given issues. I mean, the fact that you would be pro-life, quote unquote, wanting to minimize abortions, but then also want to ban contraception makes no sense. I'm not saying you're a fan, or y'all got into the conversation around the demonization of trans people and all that. None of those things am I gonna be like, don't.
Yeah, it's really irresponsible to demonize a whole group of people. That would be bad if we did that.
Literally demonized.
Yeah,
Yeah, we wouldn't want to do that.
What do you?
Don't call them evil because
I thought he just did that with the Republicans, though. What?
Yes, yes.
Right.
That's,
Oh,
yeah,
you're
Adam.
pointing out the
Yes,
irony. Oh,
Adam.
I get it.
Good job.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you.
You're right. It is.
You
ironic.
are
Yes.
involved.
point at all.
But
It
you
was definitely a bit tense.
here's just to show you. This is what Vosh would say. He would say, "Listen, being Republican is a choice. Being trans is not a choice. You're born that way. It's an immutable characteristic. You can demonize Republicans. That's the way you get them to stop being Republicans." That's what he would say.
Because all of a sudden, being a product of your environment. Wow.
That's I don't think I actually don't think that's what he would say. I think that he would say that pointing out the evil of the Republican Party is necessary to radicalize people to take action to take the country back. He would say something like that.
You're
I don't
just
think he
saying
has
that because
any
you watched
interest in
this
talking
already,
about
and that's what he said.
No, I haven't watched this.
You're a cheater like Destiny.
Has
So
he
look,
said a date yet?
I have done my research. Okay, I've
Is-
done a sad amount of research on
Uh-huh.
that.
And a sad amount of reason.
Is Vosh preparing for the next January 6th?
hating
It
your
sounds
life
like
then,
maybe
working
it
class
is.
That is
Disavow.
what he's praying for, yeah.
Disavow.
Okay. Ouch.
Tangential. By the way, there are people in chat asking for your name and pronouns, just to be clear.
Beasley, and pronouns are he, him.
All right. Thank you. But yeah,
Oh,
go
maybe
on. Go on
that's
right
very
ahead.
important.
We didn't give our pronouns.
Absolutely. So,
My pronouns are none. Do not fucking address me.
Okay.
Don't fucking talk to me.
I guess I'm not trying to
That's funny.
kind of.
This
oh
fucking
my God,
priest
I'm
is
going to quote,
actually.
but I did write
I
this
think
down
this person is like number 1 or 2 on this on
My
the.
biggest
Andy?
concern is.
It's gotta be nation
What does it do
ranked.
for our movement?
Yeah, it's something I noticed.
Keep hating your life then,
I idly
working
look
class
at
Andy.
the scrolling Vosh chat every once in a while, and you see my guy, they just want women to suffer, and I'm like, you see these enough times, and you're like, dang, that's just oof. It really does.
They
just
believe
bubble up
that.
all the time.
Well, that's
They
okay,
totally believe that. Yeah.
That's first of all, that's every chat. That's like every chat is going to repeat most of what streamer says.
Abominable.
But the
Oh my
problem
God,
is that Vosh
tummy
says way
ache.
fucking more extreme shit than most people do. So his chat is
I'll be right back. Oh my dear lord.
Ever since I got to the park, he's been behind me. I noticed every which way I go, he happens to go. So a nice passerby happened to notice, and he was confronted, and he played stupid, and he left the park, and I don't know where he is now. Y'all, I don't know what to do. I am being followed by...
Bryce. Hello. I'm bored as fuck, bro. Wanna do keys? What keys do you got? I have a 22 sanguine that I'm not eager at all in trying. But if you want to do one of yours, I'm down. Let's do your Demon Hunter. Makes it easy. What key is it? Or what number is it? Necrotic wipe. All right. I don't either, but it's no big deal. No. I don't know. He's our shroud. Shouldn't be that bad if we need it.
is like just saying the fucking crazy shit that he says.
Yeah.
Using that type of rhetoric for instead of
I love his opening because his opening is basically, "Boss, you're making us look like shit. You're making us look bad.
Stop calling people demons, please.
Yeah. We're trying. Come on. We're trying to look sane here, Boss. Please, you're not helping."
Yeah, Vosh, don't you want to appeal to
us
the
arguing
reasonable
on
people in
if
society?
Republicans are evil or not, because that's kind of a point. More so, is it?
I would be curious what reason that he would give for why that's a pointless conversation, just to sort of hear it from him. Why it is?
I think he
what's his
identifies
reason?
the important part of the conversation is the rhetoric used against him. Like even if they agree or disagree on whether or not they're evil, it's like how should we be talking about these people?
Right.
Like it's not some kind of a principled thing. It's more of a tactical thing.
You can't. I mean, if Vosh thinks Republicans are evil, you can't really debate him out of that position, right?
I was gonna say
it depends on how he got to that position, because I would wager that for most people, any position that they've been convinced of in a sort of debate is a position that theoretically they could be debated out of. But if it's a position that they hold for a less than rational means or an emotional one, then it might be really
That's
difficult
every
to-
position.
That's
everyone
every
has, right?
position. Yeah.
the thing is, like, I have a lot of experience arguing about whether or not certain people are evil, and it's a cancerous conversation because everybody has their own conception of evil. And, like, if I can really justify, here's what I think is the argument. People just don't give a shit. They're like, but evil is the and there's nowhere to go with it. So I mean, I don't know what his reasoning is, but he is correct. It is a fucking pointless conversation.
There you go. Doomer doesn't want to argue about whether the
We
Nazis are
don't-
really evil or not.
Just conceptualize Luke as the sane one here, but now I don't know if Luke is basically saying, "Yeah, I totally agree with you that Republicans are evil in demonic skin suits."
I think you're reading way. No, he doesn't.
No,
I don't
Adam.
think.
Adam, idea to put
Well,
that
no,
out
no,
there.
listen.
Adam, Luke is a good boy. Okay,
Okay,
he's
sure.
a base Sockton.
Okay. Okay, I hope so.
No, I get annoyed because sometimes in these conversations, people try to craft their arguments specifically in a way that they think will be effective to the person they're talking to.
Right.
So Luke's like, okay, I'm not gonna talk about whether it's pointless conversation with Vosh. So I'm gonna talk about like the rhetoric we use to discuss this. But then people like chat and other people will view that conversation.
My poll.
Yeah, I know.
There it is.
Yeah, exactly. You can shit on Vosh if you want.
I feel like this cult leader. Break through. You need to break through to the. You disagree?
I disagree. We're not Daryl Davising Vosh's
Oh
audience.
wait,
Vosh?
disagree.
Yeah, Vosh is not a cult. You're doing
Can you grab spear? I'm gonna be doing hammers.
What is
Oh, well, nobody interrupted that. That sucks. You'll make it, yeah.
I don't see any.
Wait. That was weird.
Philosophical undertones to any of his positions. All his positions are just demonizing Republicans because they disagree with you.
Some level
So
This guy seems like he's gonna be doing light
now-
pulls.
Now we're actually getting to some
Everybody get
substance, which I
theirs.
actually
All
like.
right.
We've talked many times on this show about how we can define those. One of the things that I thought is the guy in a position during the first month in office. Yeah, no, if the president just came in on Supreme Court Justice Breyer and he pulled off confirming for the entire term of president, maybe we hold off for 8 years. He's president for 8 years. He doesn't get confirmed because the opposite party controls the Senate. I'd say that's fucked up.
That would be a
But it would be very.
Watch out.
Yeah, Eight years?
I think it's really bad. But I would start.
Listen, okay, how about this? A second and they're still putting it off.
I definitely
President steps in and they confirm like 2 Supreme Court justices. It's like at some level you're like,
But it's not me.
there is going to be more political violence there. People are going to feel justified. I don't condone that.
So on the element.
Very odd second. I'm not the tank. I'm just a healer. I'm a dumb fuck.
Wait, hold on, wait. Let's be really clear. We don't have a conversation but we can't say nothing would ever justify political violence. We all know that. There's fair be something, right? If the government issued a mandate,
Yeah, sure, yeah.
or else the FDA
If the Republican Party does
Yeah, but I gotta set up the. Oh, I don't have my guy out. My guy just.
Well,
I know
but
he
is that- wait,
didn't.
is
He's
that,
right
is
here.
that the line for you then? What if it got to the point to where Trump was able to come and election results, and we had 8 more years of Trump? Are you just? Is that like? Well, no, that would be immoral to do.
No,
anything,
see,
or
I would say that would start peaking on that border of injustice and violence or something like that.
So then why did the erosion?
Procedural things to basically stonewall the president, which they can technically do under the law.
I mean, they can technically, but now we're getting into it.
They've done it. They have done it.
You can get in these areas like, well, we're not technically doing anything illegal, Congress, whatever. This is why they call them constitutional crises. like, well, technically, there's not like a mechanism in place for redress here, or it might not be 100% illegal, but it can happen. And then I think you have to kind of figure, like, okay, well, what is like the line here? And that's kind of what Washington's conversation is about. He says we're past the line. But I don't think it's never was about the no, all of it. And before, an officer of the state is like, there's going to be a line before that.
Sure, but I just declaring himself president.
Yeah, that's fine.
I think that what happened to Obama was one of the worst things that would happen in history of the United States. Obama won the right to watch the Supreme Court put a new judge on the Supreme Court. Garland was the I think that was such an unimaginable
Was he?
break.
I mean, it was one switch. I thought they'd done it like 2 or 3 times.
Not to the length of the trial.
So it was a No, I understand. I think it was unfair too. I think it was unfair too. But the reason that I brought it up specifically was because it's difficult to find tangible markers that you can point to say that we're on the path to the point where you would.
Oh, I don't want to do it.
Where Vosh, I mean, taking real critical markers into consideration.
Maybe another.
Oh, and he goes in. Should be
I
out.
think what happened with Garland was super fucked up, and I was very much on this topic when it was happening. But I just think that's very different than you can
Never mind.
vote.
I'm a dumb fuck.
You couldn't fix that.
Yeah, well.
But you could vote to have the Senate be Democrats or whoever. Where if the president throws out the vote, there's no legal way to address that with voting once that happens. It's sort of like.
But I mean, like, I can be empathetic towards people that are complaining about it.
Breath incoming. Watch your step.
See, you're taking it up. So that intuition might be why you feel like this is so much
Breath incoming.
But like, if there were
Watch your step.
I think we're gonna have all 3.
There's any other markers. That's one of the easy markers that I can point to. Evidence that we're moving more towards civil war. That's why I want to look for it. We can fix this in the
Breath incoming.
kind of would be
Watch your step.
Specific number of people on the Supreme Court. So theoretically, the president could just say like, "Oh, I'm gonna do like 4 more nominations in front of the Senate list."
So when FDR did it, did he just do it? He just said.
I think
just...
FDR threatened to do it. He didn't actually do it.
I thought he. I could have swore he did. Didn't somebody extended the court? Didn't they?
Well, the court has. I think the court has been
FDR tried
extended
to.
a couple times, right? But it's not.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
thought so. Okay.
He used to be
Anyway.
one judge.
Let's bring it down to let's bring it down to 1 and really up those stakes. Then all that'll
No,
be
that's,
exciting.
that's horrible.
Watch your step. Watch your step.
You go straight to that, like making white.
We're not radical enough, dude. We're not radical. It's funny that he's still in favor of democracy because when you have these parties, you're never going to get a It's impossible. So that's why they pick him. No, he's been with the people will never vote for calls.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Do you think that he, in his
Watch your step.
I don't think that's.
I don't think so. Yeah, I think Wash is the yeah, true. Yeah.
Watch your step.
Is this the one that spews or not? Oh, I'm a dumb fuck too. It's like awesome. Is this the one that spews the diseases, everyone, or is that the pre-fight? That's the yeah, it's the pre-fight one.
Yeah. For all their standing for democracy, they really don't know how democracy works, which
Nobody
is sad.
really gives a fuck how democracy works at the end of the day. People just want to expand their political power, and democracies can be a useful scapegoat depending on the conversation.
It's true. Yeah, very true.
dramatic, maybe revolutionary type actions isn't gonna work. And they'll say like,
Run.
you've never who are actually going to try reform. So, with this, where you're saying we're past the point, we've seen time and again.
I certainly think that we have not. That's a step way too far. So,
Ooh. Oh, that was quick.
Yeah, definitely. Biden said it on the Facebook.
Well, but that's that's what's just annoying about the way everything's just like this kind of tribal reaction, because instead of like the moderate left broadly there's like this half answer, it's like, well, it doesn't thing. And just
Shockwave.
feels like
Shockwave. Shockwave.
Well, the issue is not a small issue, though. Police brutality. It's the solution that's the problem.
well,
It's
no,
the
you
solution
have
that
to
takes the problem.
I mean, saying that it's small. Dismissive. Oh, it's a very small.
Run out. Target you.
Credibility or something. He did, push it. I thought it was pretty surprising.
Easy one face tyrannical. Easy. Two spears though.
Like, we've already lost the next set of elections. And Democrats are it's kind of hard to score that way. Maybe we should vote for people like Biden.
Has he announced his vote for Biden at all?
No, I don't think he will. I think he's
Well, there's a useful chunk of the rhetoric. She was basically telling so if you think
Watch your step.
like if your primary goal you could still argue
Watch your step.
Do you pop cooldowns or something? It's always the worst timing.
Queer people.
Watch your step.
Oh, this is defensive. Russia said, oh, we're defending the
conservatives saying they're defending themselves from mass migration.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Everyone uses this defensive.
Noam Chomsky pointed this out. This is very, very effective propaganda.
Right.
And Bosch said the same shit about all kinds of
Watch your step.
Wait, he said that? Really?
Yeah,
how
that's
can you
the
say that?
What?
I'm so glad that that killing happened. But like,
target you. Watch your step.
Yeah.
PIing you. Let's see. Let's see if you get chosen.
Characterize the Rittenhouse situation as a blind situation. It's so fucking weak. Last I heard Vosh was
Watch your step.
That's a good one.
Ooh, nice solid 2 chests.
treat the agents of genocide as great as possible. All historical examples strategy not fashion.
Watch your step. Run away. Watch your step.
Fuck. So close.
In the whole of human history. Like, we don't have enough information for all of these dudes. We just don't. It just doesn't exist.
It seems to be things I don't like, though. So you really should probably.
We do have some good studies on authoritarians, though. Authoritarians pretty rigorous.
That essentially never introduced this class before.
Vosh actually is an authoritarian by those,
I'm totally down to
by
run
those
that.
studies. Yeah. It's authoritarianism. That's the problem.
It
It's
is
these
that.
people who.
It's you always have
I'll be a
this
bitch and a half.
and Vosh
But
Right.
I think Streets is rather easy.
To escape the authoritarian label. It's something you're constantly running from. I wonder how many of them realize they really are the thing. Do they try to rationalize it as no, we're the good authoritarians, though? Do they push it away in the back of the mind and try to rationalize why they're not really the thing? It's the kind of like what I was talking about earlier with like kind of more passive Christians. There's a part of them that says, yeah, that thing you're doing is bad.
Is anybody else online that wants to do that? Or you want to just plug it?
But it's fine because XYZ reasons. It's
I think it's very simple. Like, this is the logic. I'm not an authoritarian because authoritarians are bad and I'm good. Like,
that's true.
oh.
That is the aspect.
I'm not have Dextrose on Battle.net.
I mean, it's you can see it. The other side are evil. They are evil. Republicans are evil. And I'm fighting the evils. I mean,
Demons wearing
we're
human
called
flesh.
anti-fascists, guys.
Would Vosh vote for a authoritarian type personality on the left? You know, if they were running on a platform to end democracy and install socialism in America? I kind of feel like he would.
Well, I mean, there's
Depends
so
on
many
the
copes.
packaging.
Like, there's so many ways to define that as not authoritarian. I mean, the thing is, it's just such as law, right? You just end up playing fucking word games.
Well, the question is, I mean, first of all, no one would run on ending democracy, but they would enact policies that would sort of push you slowly in that direction, and then
Palpatine did.
we would get into this exact question on the right, like,
Why
when
just try
is
and
political
plug it?
violence, you know,
Acceptable, yeah, exactly.
acceptable? And I guess, and I didn't think about it until just now, but you know, would it be couldn't the political right say, hey, if the Democrats took power and they tried to get rid of the Electoral College, like, would that necessitate, or would that allow them basically to have violent revolution because of that?
Yeah.
No,
That's
it
an
wouldn't. But they would.
interesting
But they would
question.
say that. But again, there's this easy hope, right? It's like, well, the electoral college is undemocratic, so getting rid of it is more democratic. I mean,
Well, it depends
Like, you could
upon
always say-
procedurally how they did it, though. That would be the important part.
I guess.
Yeah.
I mean,
This
I
is
don't- I
why
don't-
it's so important
I don't think so,
to
because-
things be bipartisan. Like,
well, the thing is, like, I'm not fond at all of Trump, but like, he did get elected, and like, Vosh has a tendency to not acknowledge that, right? It's like,
Sure.
Trump did get elected, and a lot of the things I really don't like about Trump are popular, right? So it's like, you can't just a priori say it's undemocratic when a guy wins
No,
the
but
fucking
what
election
I'm
and
saying
gets
is,
up
like-
and does what people want him to do.
but the way it was done is done would matter because I assume that if you want to get rid of the Electoral College, it would take a constitutional amendment, and if they tried to do that without a constitutional amendment, it would. I mean, it'd be hard for me to say that I wouldn't. I mean, I wouldn't take up arms, but it would be hard for me to denounce people calling for some sort of violence if that happened, like that happened. And it didn't follow that process.
If it did in practicality require a constitutional amendment, I just don't think it's going to happen in my lifetime.
I understand that. I'm just saying, but that's what I mean.
They would circumvent the
If they tried to do it
process.
without
Yeah.
a constitutional amendment.
Yeah.
Or there is a outspoken liberal contingent that mocks, downplays, attempts to civilly reason with, pull people over, and then of course invariably their silence and kills. The fascists take power anyway, because people just seem to be more responsive to alarmist rhetoric. You know.
Yes,
I'm
but I'm not talking at all.
See, he says
about
he just said people are more responsive to alarmist rhetoric. So
Yeah,
we
Well, that's
know,
okay. Well, that's just
we
true.
know that's
That's just factually
yes,
true.
yes, but we know that Vosh knows that. That's the thing. That's the
Yeah.
important aspect here. Because that's what he's doing here. That's exactly what he's using.
I mean, he's worked in politics for years, so yeah, of course he knows that.
Oh, really? How do you know that?
He's got a YouTube channel.
Oh, okay. Well,
minimizing or standing by. There's a difference between you could be super alarmist. This is so dangerous without saying this is a class of people that is, and just so you know, I'm not like morally horrified. Oh my god, he called them. I'm literally just thinking from a strategy point of view.
see, he's totally he's like, dude, I hate Republicans too. I feel you.
No,
He's
I
just
think it's a
trying
good
to be
strategy. He's
persuasive.
no, he's trying to have the more important discussion, which is
Right.
surrounding the rhetoric and not debating the merits of whether or not Republicans are evil.
No,
Yes.
Luke is giving an argument as for like how to win elections more, and Bosch is doing something that, let's be real, maximizes his sub count on YouTube.
No, I completely agree. Luke is doing the right thing here. He's not. He's definitely speaking only to the left.
Yeah, but that's the point of the conversation.
Like,
Seven
I was
days.
going to have a debate against a conservative about reducing the number of abortions. I would say something like, let's talk about how birth control can help. Now, I'm not saying that birth control is like moral or good, but like, wouldn't it reduce?
I want to
abortions? Like,
lust. I
constantly
want to
debate
hunter
whether
lust.
abortions
Would be
is
primo.
Yeah,
like,
find
or whether or
something
not birth
real.
control is good or bad, right?
Why?
Morally, but just yeah.
Or maybe a mage actually.
That's all they want to do.
Help with the fucking postmate,
Yeah, so I think
postmail
that
room.
Luke's strategy here is good. It's a good one.
Yeah. Well, I agree, but I'm only pointing out that his position, for me, is unclear. Which I always like to know.
It would be nice to have the whole, I don't actually think they're evil.
Yes.
Primo.
Until you
Yeah,
have
but wouldn't
people-
that? But wait a minute. Wouldn't that
Start
sabotage
debating.
his position that he's trying to advocate right now about rhetoric?
How?
Because then Vosh is like, oh, well, you're only saying that because you don't think Republicans are evil. I'm just saying.
Doesn't change the debate.
It kind of does, though.
I mean, that's.
I
don't
guess
think
it's
so,
the
like,
element of
It
we'll
does-
debate the rhetoric because we agree, or we'll debate the rhetoric because we're trying to get a goal started.
It does.
Look,
it does
okay, hold
only. It does only in the sense that Vosh will immediately have zero trust for Luke.
That's
Because
exactly. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly.
I
But
see
it doesn't
definitely
change.
gets
It
ignored
doesn't
in that
change the
marketing process.
reality of the situation. It doesn't change any of the facts.
Yeah,
and
no,
it's-
it changes
it's
the
basically
reality
his
of the
opinion.
conversation,
Okay,
not the reality of the facts. Who
In
cares about
Vosh's mind, because he feels slighted, because he
Yeah, but
feels.
Vosh is half of the conversation, right? We're not robots. We
Right.
have to be a mindful.
No.
Right.
I mean, like I've done almost exactly.
Yeah.
The same thing you don't want to throw something out. It's going to identify.
Now we're
you as
going.
a target.
Now on this one
You
we're
want to
going.
be someone who is a reasonable ally. Fucking
It's smart or it's sneaky.
It's like it can be a little bit of
It's
both,
effective.
right?
Let's get a nice cleano runo.
No, you should just go. I mean,
I saw a nice, interesting pull pattern over by the little console to bring it up to Sazami. Instead of going.
Watch your step.
I said there was. What is his name? so as me. Same thing.
You get chastised on social
Just say I'm
media if you're on the left.
salami, yeah. Fucking salami.
your step.
There's an interesting pull pattern. Instead of going by the stairs, shrouding on the inside, away from the stairs, and using that woe to go do the market while you pull, yeah. Well, yeah, I normally do the one where you basically do a heady on the little
Watch your
shit in the
step.
tank, and they tether the DPS and the ranged. I'm normally,
You don't say that. And if you aren't actually going
yeah, it's just a fuck ton of time wasting. I saw that and I was like, I wonder how coordinated you have to be, because that's definitely not the normal pull. You have to have a Well, don't you have to have like some sort of shroud or like at the Panthers bow there so you can get across in a position for it? And then just get into the middle. Yeah. Yeah, I think I saw them do that. They woe to activate the portal and then they...
into a
Yeah.
Watch your step.
Because it throws you off on like kiting and stuff. You do a fucking strafe jump and you're across the fucking room.
Watch your step.
Oh. Chill, 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 chill. Oh no, Rice. What are we doing here? I was like, oh no, what are we doing here? I see the 2 stack.
Not an other. You can have shared
Yeah.
Watch your step.
I can't out heal that, Rice. I'm chilling. There's nothing. You could have done it. Pop Tarkinus or something. You would have survived.
Watch your step.
True. That could have been an option. We're just laying out the different options. We're not saying which
Watch
one's
your
better.
step.
Yeah. I would never dare tell you what's better or what's worse. That's just ridiculous.
Watch your step.
I was gonna be really upset if we didn't get a hunter or a mage. I was gonna be like, fuck, this is gonna suck. This Deathlock's fucking killing it.
Male obviously got moved to the bottom there.
That totally did not hit me, but whatever, I guess I'm dumb as fuck.
Well, I don't know
I
if
think given the opportunity.
Target you.
I'd say the funnest fucking in hierarchies, funnest boss is definitely fucking Postman. That shit fucking gets trippy on healing cooldowns. Yeah. Not everything's about you, Bryce. Yeah. Not everything's up. Not everything's about you, Bryce. Oh my god, I thought he was charging me. I gotcha. Just gonna be on healing duty for a second. I'll just PI. I got major cooldown reduction on this thing. God, bro.
Target you.
Easy.
Trump had his attorney call Kellyanne Conway and try and get her.
Oh, we're doing I don't have a PI for you boys. Sag.
Watch your step.
There's one down.
That's exactly the point. He's trying to do so people don't let it.
Watch your step.
Stunned. Oh, she's fucking fall out of range.
That is fake news. Not talking about making up the vote. She was talking about actually counting votes.
Hold on, that's not fake news.
Oh shit, I see the back.
Watch your step.
Scared her.
A out of context clip of
Don't jump far.
Let me get back to the straw poll thing because I wanted to tell something to Doomer here. Kellyanne Conway has run the
We're going
straw
right.
poll for
Interesting.
years.
I never go right.
And she said a lot of people called her and asked her to fucking rig the straw poll. So it's not just a Trump thing. It's any fucking politician.
You know what? I believe in
I
them.
don't care about the straw poll. I'm talking about our elections for president of the United States.
Oh,
That's what I'm
he
talking about.
just pulled it back here.
I agree. I
Is he
totally
gonna?
agree. But
Is he dying on purpose? No, he's not. He's not dying on purpose. He wants me to fight.
I completely agree.
The goal was to overturn the norms of how we elect the president, right?
I've never done it this way. Why is it? This way is definitely harder. The other way is super simple.
People would have stepped back and said,
Watch your step.
Does it save you any time? I mean, like if you do like a gigapole. You know what? I trust this guy.
Watch your
Brawl.
step.
I'm not contesting. That phone call.
Oh shit.
There's a lot of
Oh my god, you're all listening.
obviously
There's a lip.
media from the story as in Trump was asking.
Watch your step.
No, in the longer version of the phone call, he talks about counties that they originally had
Well,
won
again, let's do
in
it.
the previous election and then flipped the other way around, and that he only wanted a a recount in these certain counties. And
Oh.
that's why he's saying, you know, I only need to find this many votes, and that's why I'm only focused on recounts in these specific counties.
Run out. Watch your step.
I'm gonna have to pop a cooldown for this one. This is too like
Watch your step.
heavy. I already died. Already died.
There's two positions. Trump is calling
My probably res here.
to say,
Watch your step.
and there's the position, and there is the position.
Rose?
And that we need a recount, and we need a recount in certain areas.
Run out.
Well, he did look like a loser.
Yeah, he looked like a lunatic already. You can't
He
say
did
that.
basically
This
everything
is like-
he reasonably could.
I hate to Godwin's laws, and I don't think any of you are Nazis. I don't mean that at all. Of course, I've never said it. But like, this is like the
Yay.
equivalent argument to when like when like Nazi apologists are like, well, there's not a direct order from Hitler saying we need to kill all the Jews.
Destiny.
And it's like, of course, Trump is never going to call someone to be like, guys, we need to rig the election. Obviously.
Destiny. First of all, I didn't vote for Trump. I could care less that
I'm
Trump
not saying you did.
didn't win the election. The thing that I
Okay,
care about
wait,
is
hold on.
honesty in media, and that you've got to
Honesty
admit
in
that
media.
story.
Trump was saying the election was going to be rigged 8 fucking months in advance.
Yeah,
on his fucking Twitter.
true.
He's going off like fucking crazy. Look, did you see his fucking Twitter during the election? It was terrifying. Like it was fucking mental.
And then
Humor,
the speech that he
Did-
gave beforehand.
did he not pick the last
It was
one?
so fucking yeah, I'm triggered. It was terrifying.
The speech that he gave at the White House, we have to fight back for our
I didn't-
democracy and shit.
Doomer, I didn't realize that you had TDS. I'm sorry that I
Oh
didn't
no!
actually.
The TDS
Sorry.
claim has come out.
I'm sorry that I didn't
Look, Adam, I'm
trigger
proud to be-
warning
I'm-
on
I'm
this
proud to be-
conversation.
I'm proud to be the first person in history to have TDS. TDS
completely.
That even the longer version isn't a good look for president to ask for votes. But I mean, like, I do agree with you. There was no conversation where Trump said, hey, we need to rig the election. That's true. That conversation never
Yes.
happened. But that's never going to be a conversation.
This chicken is going insane.
I mean, we can look at his other games. Did he call others
Thankfully,
This chicken's going fucking crazy.
Destiny, how do you? You can't build a bridge. You have
Hold on, he's building a bridge. Let him build a bridge.
January 6th was nothing to change. No, I think what he did on January 6th was insane and totally stupid. Like his entire speech on January 6th.
What he's asking is, has there been a president?
I feel like every.
Hold on, maybe.
What about Nixon? Nixon lugging the office of the fucking Democratic National.
He did. I think so.
Nixon literally did espionage on his political rival. Yes, so what the fuck? What the fuck? That was 60 years ago.
Bam! Technically, Trump was in jail more times than Nixon was.
Well, is it just the term fascist?
When I think of fascist, I think of like one thing.
Great question. Probably because he wants to save the boss. Yeah, and then he's gonna rebanish on banish it, I guess. Yep. Looks like that's what he's going for it.
I mean, I don't know that he did think he was done.
For the boss, let's do it.
Right, no, I'm
Well, he respected the institution. I mean, he did. He does.
AOE incoming.
Listen, Destiny, how is this any?
Stat.
I have no doubt that
Special coming.
believes that he won the election and that it was stolen from him by, like he probably watched it
AOE incoming.
through the movie with like, oh my god. Like he watched it and like it's real. Yeah, and he's completely, he believes that. So
Every single person.
So far.
But he doesn't trust any of the.
He doesn't trust anybody. Well,
AOE incoming.
He's delusional. I'm not going to argue Trump is not true.
Stat.
He was in fact the only because he had like this schizophrenic understanding of the world where he
Special coming.
Well, he did.
AOE incoming.
He did break.
Also, I mean, whether what your intentions are, but you think you're acting honestly, what's the alternative? Like you can think you honestly want.
Well, if the thing is, that,
AOE incoming.
like the institutions have already been subdued.
Stat.
The damage has already been done.
Have they been subverted or they think they've been
I don't think they've been. I do not think that they've been subverted. I think that
I don't think he.
Isn't he
Special coming.
like the controls of real space? Like
AOE incoming.
If you grab that one in the middle of the liquid, I'll pull you back over. I might. Jesus. I think somebody else got it. I think the mage got it.
Don't install our chat.
I didn't see anybody go over that either. I think he might have like night fade into blink. It literally seems so fast, but
you can do it either way. It's pretty obvious.
AOE incoming. Stat.
So do you, so shit, I'm interested in you. Why was it that I have right to say?
Jesus. Right when I'm going out.
It just seems so implausible to me that he would call up an election official and, you know, the votes are either out there or they're not out there, but to insinuate that he covertly wants his election official to what, fill in a bunch of ballots or just make a bunch of ballots up or hire people to
Somebody
make up a
tagged
bunch
it.
of ballots or flip the switch on some machine somewhere.
This guy literally announced that he won the presidency before even the votes were fucking.
Wait a minute. Did anybody catch the password?
Hold on. Do you just? I'm focusing in on this one point, Justin.
Yeah.
Do you accept?
Am
though,
I didn't
that,
get it.
like, why would I call somebody on the phone, some election official that I don't have any kind of relationship?
I'm just gonna drink
with?
while we figure this
Like,
out.
what exactly am I asking them? If your narrative,
I don't
is
think anybody
correct?
opened it.
You're asking them to see what they can do.
Oh.
Basically, like,
You didn't
drum up
So,
some
but
votes.
what
Turn it
is
in?
that?
Who the
What
fuck
would
knows
they-
what it
what-
is? Trump
the
doesn't know anything about
technical-
any of the electoral process. Maybe it's
the
finding a box of
technical
ballots somewhere.
process.
Maybe it's discounting some ballots. Maybe it's some votes shouldn't count.
That's cool.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Like,
I just
obviously-
find it hard to believe that Kelly
Interesting. Normally I've known it to just, you open it and then you just move on before doing it. Yeah, okay. Just want to make sure I'm like, am I fucking on crack? Is this like a weird, odd meta type thing? Yeah. Pathing shenanigans. He's on Thrall, I think.
I'm with you there.
Thrall? I
That's
thought it
where
was
we
US.
Get our hot celebrities. That's all I know.
Canada's like in Stardew Valley south of your base when you put fucking maple things on trees and you just go down every couple days.
We should move on. Just remember, I was right about this. You guys, one day we'll hear the
Sure, that would
entire
be
phone
the
call,
big
and
takeaway of the stream.
you'll be like, "Oh my god, I can't believe that." Right.
He was just calling genuinely concerned about the Georgia election process. How did I miss Trump's genuine concern for this one state that might have been pivotal for the election, and then calling for the exact amount of votes that he needed? Of course he was just concerned. All of it. Maybe
one last. I mean, I think he was having to realize it. He focused on he assumed ballots were incorrectly counted. So he wasn't looking for just finding new ballots. He was saying, okay, we need to recount. These are the counties that are rightfully state. That's basically it. But anyway, let's see.
Oh, there he is. There he goes.
You have to come back on again. Talk about Georgia. You constantly like.
You're gonna drag us into a different
I know we can't do it now. We can't do it now. But I don't think. Okay.
Psychology and nothing else.
Right,
Because
but
anytime
you're.
it's not
I don't think you're being fair on this. So let's talk about that next time. Let's get back onto this. This I think it probably has something to do with it.
The crazy thing sect of the Republican Party is we think of as the more fascistic, far right. Kind of capitalism. Very much, not on some things, a lot of times, stuff like that. But in this case, you're finding
This mage is not good at Oh.
Spread. Shockwave. Shockwave.
Well, I know he doesn't do it.
Spread.
You don't buy that though, right? That's yeah, okay, good.
Shockwave.
So I would think like if it were don't run the distance, left and right or shooting. I don't think rather it's just shoot the face and
Of course not. Oh, of course.
Shockwave.
to me, someone who's evil, and kind of what the video that I was going to was, listen, you can reason it and understand people when
Yep.
they're doing it for their own gain. But when
Now
you
the question
understand
is,
people
does he
when it's
want to
really
go to
just
the
make somebody
yeah?
suffer. And in the case of the politicians out there,
Pick up everything.
it's not
He's gonna get low here, yeah. I got holy locked. Holy locked for years.
easiest thing for Democrats doing. They've been doing this forever now. It's just to hit everyone with a racist.
It's weird. That's
And,
oh, why are we going? What?
Immigration is a great place where they can do that. Now,
Not why? Yeah, why are we doing? I'm a dump. Oh god, there's a portal. Should be fine. Jesus fuck. Yeah, it's a very confusing one. I mean, I guess we have to kill that one for the late, like to get up there.
Be convinced out of their positions. You can't.
Right,
Their
but
whole job is to do the thing.
Normally, wouldn't you do that one like right before you go up to salami?
He gets it here.
I know, but he's actually
understand.
missing it. That's not true. Politicians will change their views to reflect their voting population.
Sure.
Look at Biden and Hillary changing their stance on like 15 an hour minimum wage because of things like what Bernie said and how popular it is. Politicians will.
I don't know where he's going
To
either.
stay in power, yes.
Was kind of hiding.
That enforcer's gonna fuck us, but you pulled. Yep.
Yeah.
Deathlock's gonna die.
That's why his position.
If you want, I'm gonna.
Republican voters' minds.
Like, I don't know if you.
then
This is weird.
that's
I'm
how
gonna.
you would
I'm gonna
choose
just
a
invis pot,
Republican
right?
politician. I mean, I guess maybe.
Well, no, he's
it
saying
comes
the
back to he
politicians
doesn't-
operate independently from voters.
Right, he thinks
They're all
they're
like their own
paid
cabal.
off by some evil force or something.
Yeah. The
Technically, you could just
manufacturing
die.
consent view of.
Well, so yeah, I guess he thinks.
Or
that
do that.
The power or the views come top.
It's very odd. Very odd.
I mean, I guess they do come top.
Start
I
RP,
guess it's kind of
right?
To some extent, it's
Shouldn't
it's
somebody
a
start
back and forth,
This is
obviously.
a long.
There is
We
an.
want to be in line.
Or
with
the other
persuasion,
guy.
not a
No, the
violence.
lock's coming our way.
Go ahead, Dustin.
I think there is an.
Yeah, we should be able to.
window that thinks about a given set of
This is
issues,
very
and
confusing. I mean, we're good on time. Definitely good on time. It's just a matter of like it's fucking weird. Yeah, where's this DK going? Why is the DK being weird? Okay.
Can you see this happen?
Run.
We still have a B-res. Should be fine.
Watch your. Run. Target you. Watch your. Run. Dispel.
Always melee. Yeah, well, everyone should be able to take a one shot of that.
There is sort of this audience capture.
Watch your. Dispel.
I was looking at chat.
There's this guy in chat called Goose. Ooh, there's a lot of
They don't like you. Maybe we should ban.
Dispel. Watch your.
What is your secret title? You got something. Good. Do you have a stake on speed banning? Well, what is your
Dispel.
speed banning? Okay.
Why did you bring that up?
Well, because I hear a lot of this. I mean, sometimes they follow up on
Watch your.
Don't worry. I fucked up. Didn't realize my MD was on cooldown. I was like spamming like a dumb fuck, thinking it was gonna be any second.
Dispel. Run. Keep moving.
Let's just chill out. Let's everyone just relax.
Like no power whatsoever.
Push Trump to support the end point.
Hopefully one of them do it.
Dispel. Watch your
Weren't they like also like politically
run. Keep moving.
Yeah, well, I think
he
Kellyanne
was
did
a
some
little bit reliable with her.
Isn't
Yeah, definitely.
Kellyanne Conway just sort of like a normal Republican?
A normal person, yes. Exactly.
No. I don't know what exactly.
Yeah, Steve Bannon is
more like
weird. Yes.
sort of side of things.
Yeah, that was his background in also, wait.
Get back to win.
Run. Keep moving.
Was she the one that gave us like Bowling Green and like the fucking alternative facts?
Look, Destiny
She
knows
did
how to
sound
use Wikipedia. Thank you.
Wait, who?
Oh no.
To look up
Oh no.
I'm not looking. Hold up, wait, hold up. I literally.
Who does address the alternative but I haven't got to Bowling Green. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, nothing.
Run. Keep moving.
Oh no, there was the look at what happened. It was, she represented the Bowling Green massacre. And it was just like not anything.
Oh yes. She thought there were some immigrants. Anyway, Jesse, Lucas wants you to know that he actually loves you.
Oh yeah, I saw that earlier. He said that only cast
Yes. Steve Bannon. Actually, Steve Bannon.
Run.
This would actually
Keep
be
moving.
rough.
Oh, so he is one.
It's actually gonna be fairly close to the last boss. We're just gonna have really lucky phases and double techniques. So there's no way to get there unless we
I'm leaving.
Oh, Biden.
Fizpot this? Or we actually have to kill this?
Dude, here, I can imagine Biden saying.
I know. If you told me
and
Biden
Fizpotting.
was
Fuck it.
Flesh, I might believe. Yeah, I mean, he seems old enough to be.
I thought the woes would have gotten me.
Trust. I would stop you
Oh.
say they're just trying to. I can't really understand how do we combat them because they're just.
That makes
going,
sense.
No,
The one right next to the bridge?
way you combat them is combat.
Or this is definitely gonna be a white bridge. There's no shot we do this in the open without any LOS. With salami. At least it's not fortified. There's one down.
Run.
Oh shit. Almost forgot. Mechanic.
Run.
Yeah. We should just wipe it. There's no way we're doing this guy.
Run.
Yep, that's a wipe. That's gonna be a chalk key. There's no B-reses, we should just wipe. I'm just gonna take a wipe. 3 minutes, yeah, that sucks.
I don't think that applies to
Unfortunate.
He's not really giving some sort of justification.
I think it was Deathlock, because Deathlock ran straight through on mount. I think I might have tagged it.
Doomer can think whatever he wants.
It didn't look like you did off rip, but
This isn't like people being born evil. Job, but even evil isn't like
Sag.
moral
I don't know if we made like 14 deaths isn't enough time loss to say that like the deaths were the reason, but Jesus, bro, like that. I think that route was like so time consuming.
Like ethics, and he doesn't
This
like
is your
actually know
fault,
any
is
of
what
it.
you're saying.
So basically, anytime Vosh starts talking about ethics, you can just fast forward. The whole conversation is
What the
basically
fuck?
him saying in fancier words.
What? Yep. Are you getting the same thing? Oh, he's divided. The mechanic is still there.
Unbelievable.
I was like, what the fuck is happening?
And he'll do this. He'll reiterate this a few times when it seems like he's justifying something. He'll be like, well, you know, consequentially, if it led to good things, then I would say that it's a good thing. But you know, if it didn't, then it would. It's like, okay, yeah, but that's the whole point is whether you think it would or wouldn't, right? Like he does this.
Yeah, I think that was a really odd padding, or that was an odd
doing over and over again was
route.
that, like, if someone on the
Definitely
side
chalked,
does something
but
bad, he would start talking about their motives, right? And then if someone he doesn't like does something bad, he'll be like, "Oh, motives don't matter. I'm an actual consequentialist. The outcomes." And it's just like, dude, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty classic, you know, self-serving bias from
He just doesn't.
I think
he
it's
doesn't-
called the fundamental attribution error. It's where
I mean, we just gotta pull him at this point. Like, wait, we're just.
whenever you do something bad, it's because you have really, really good reasons for it. Or when somebody you like does it. But when somebody else does something bad, you only look at the action, and then you judge them for the action, and you don't look at the actual thing.
Terrible.
Wait, what are we? Why?
Those
So
people
kind of
are
like
Whatever,
we
bro.
make up a bunch of excuses why Trump would call a governor to look for.
It's what timer? There's no
was
timer.
aimed at
It's-
you guys didn't recognize that.
I
That
did-
was-
oh, I
missed
did
that.
Oh,
that
that's
is called a
stupid.
Callback. That is. That's.
It's not like we
comedy
can't do
gold
this
right
guy
there.
without it.
Thank you,
Like,
Destiny.
All back.
It's just gonna be more time onto our clock
Added
that's gonna give us
great
less points.
value to our show.
Thank you. I'm trying.
Yeah. Wait till you listen to the call. Hopefully you're on stream with us when you do it.
It is a comedy show. So.
Let's continue.
A real moral category. The closest thing.
He just left.
You know,
This is where this guy's engaged.
Is the axioms that they're attempting to maximize with their behavior are stuff.
Just go. Like, obviously it's
Run.
bugged right now. Oh shit, that's bad. I'm gonna go circle to circle. Circle square works.
They disagree.
We're already at this point.
Run.
What? How do you?
Well, but is it?
I'm gonna just do square, yeah. Like, oh, and it hit me.
You can use it any way you want.
It actually hit me coming into it. I didn't know there was 5 squares. I went to the standalone square.
And he doesn't see like there are 15 different
Seems weird. It's fucking... Yeah, that was the. I'll say that was definitely the most unique halving I've ever seen. I'll leave it at that. It just felt like we tried to save time at market. Didn't save time at market because we still had to do something. It was like, bro, come on.
Now, this is a I look at when people talk
Run.
Square is easy. The mage is like out in Never Never Land. Oh, are we redividing?
Yeah, which is what a moral. Which is a moral obligation. Like you're talking about basically saying
Are you saying I have the same obligation to not be on my wife?
Run.
Triangle to re-triangle, I guess? I can't get through it. I'm actually just gonna die.
Yeah, usually.
he had to find this word out. It helped
Run.
to acting a certain way. I don't know if you noticed. Every social
Yeah.
internet.
Hassan, he bought a big house.
Or I can't get through anything.
Yeah, they all live as like the most hyper.
Run.
Well, I mean, in this whole,
It's a chalk ass run, dude.
but in this whole sidetrack for him is, I mean, not sidetrack.
These
this whole
fucking symbols are so bugged. It's so fucked.
He's the one that brought up the human
Let's see. 3 people with quick blades.
evil demons and human flesh. Now he's trying to be like, well, what does evil really mean?
Yeah, they're just trying to
Doesn't mean anything.
maximize different actions.
Yeah, it's like, well, why did you use the
Probably
word?
not.
You know what it means.
But he almost said.
I mean, they could probably self-sustain if this DK just stays alive. It's not like they don't have cookies and shit.
Yeah, right.
What other kinds of evil are there, Vosh? What does
Run.
that mean?
I would blitz him. I would. You get 2% at this point.
Yeah.
Well, and even
Hey, whoever's that DK's got to solo him now, or maybe Mage and DK.
Run.
Weird ass fucking group.
So, for example, if they're fascists and they believe in a fundamental sense, in rigid hierarchy
yeah,
and
Gizmo.
promotion of like an anti-degenerate social, starkly contradict with any invocation of my axioms because it would entail genocide. So, in that sense, you might say, well.
Well, hold on, real quick. So he's saying this would entail genocide, and he's giving an example of something that's not necessarily evil. Okay, but it would entail genocide, but it's not evil. They're just trying to maximize different axioms. It's so vacuous. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm done. This is all done.
No, it's great. No,
yeah,
It's so
if you
stupid.
if you're not gonna call genocide evil, what is the point? Your moral system is just useless.
Well, you know what? I'll bite the bullet.
no.
And I'll say in front of everyone that genocide might not be great.
Genocide is evil.
So
Ooh,
brave.
nice.
So brave.
I'll do it. I'll be.
I'm gonna take a
need to
break.
make the word-
That was fucking
What
tilting.
is the opposite of supererogatory, where like it'd be good if you did it, but you didn't have to? What about one where it's like it'd be bad if you did it, but like if you don't, it's not bad? So there's got to be like an opposite definition
It
there.
would be bad if you did it, but you don't have to.
Something like wouldn't make you
Not
feel
bad.
like-
GG's though.
It would be bad if you
Called
did,
being a
but
dick.
it's not a big deal if you do.
Or like, oh
Right.
no, it would be
That
you,
kinda-
you shouldn't do it, but if you do it, it's not bad. That would be
Like not returning the shopping cart.
maybe yeah.
Yeah.
Anti-erogatory, maybe sure.
Maybe it actually doesn't work. I just don't know.
The philosophers do
You
this
know,
kind
if you
of
say
stuff.
it, I know what you mean.
I'll be right back. Oh, it's so hot. I don't like it.